Paul emailed me about a deck that he's planning to build in cottage country this spring. He's wondering about foundation options. Now, Paul's property is in the cottage country of Ontario, which is covered in sloped, curved, and undulating rock. So the challenge is how you support a deck on this kind of surface. My first recommendation is to pour small pads underneath a spot wherever you plan to use a support post. Now, I happen to know from Paul's note that he's using 6x6 posts. So the pad that I'm talking about now wouldn't be much larger than that at all. The idea, though, is that the pad evens out the otherwise uneven surface of the rock that you're building on. Now, the best material to use for forming this kind of a pour is some rigid foam sheets. 1-2 inch thick will be fine. I like to use the extruded polystyrene as opposed to the white beady expanded polystyrene. The extruded foam is certainly strong enough that it can easily contain the concrete that you're using, because you're not really pouring that deep of a pad. 6-8 inches would be sufficient. You can glue pieces of foam together with wood glue and let that dry. Glue it into a kind of a square tube, if you will, and then you can cut and scribe the bottom end of that foam so that it sits upright and plumb. And then when you fill it with concrete, you just level the concrete across the top edge and set your post saddles in place. These are metal brackets that will hold the ends of the wooden posts, and you're good to go. Now, if your bedrock is sloped to any degree at all, I strongly recommend boring some holes into the bedrock and setting some rust-proof metal rods into those holes and then doing your pour. That's going to ensure that those pads don't ever work loose in time and start to work their way downhill along with your deck at the same time. But the foam method on bedrock is going to work really well for you.